real babies, we had fur babies. In fact, before I had Jordan, I had Emma, my sweet cat who is now 13 years old. Then Jordan and I got engaged, and what do?
You get a puppy.
Yay, puppies!
So we went shopping for a puppy, and at the time lived with a few roommates, one of whom really wanted a puppy, and the other one not so much. So we went back and forth about 3 times with a little bit of protest from our one roommate, Daniel, who did not really want that puppy. And then finally, a little fed up with the fact that he kept saying no, we said, screw it, we're getting it anyway. And we got our Banksy, our husky, named after the famous street artist. We didn't realize we're not allowed to have puppies in our building, so...
Someone else in our building had a dog, but it was a secret dog, and we didn't know that.
So joke was on us. We had to find a new apartment.
Daniel was like, peace out.
See ya. Fast forward several years later, after having our first beautiful daughter and our Banksy.
Technically second, because Emma was first.
Okay, technically second.
Our second child together.
Yes, of course. And then our neighbor, who had been babysitting for us, their dog got unexpectedly pregnant with a litter of puppies. And our daughter kept going over there and playing with this one puppy repeatedly, would not play with any other puppy.
Nope, they were bonded.
So we knew that we were screwed. We were getting a second dog. And we figured we're not having a second kid. It doesn't matter. We could get a second dog. Well...
Joke's on us. 6 months later, I got pregnant. Now, we have 2 kids, 2 dogs, and a cat. We live in a fucking zoo. It's only parenting where it's smooth as bourbon. I'm Lene.
And I'm Jordan.
And this is Bourbon and Babies podcast.
Straight up parenting on the rocks.
And welcome back. It's episode 11 of Bourbon and Babies.
11!
And today is a special episode. It's Bourbon and FUR Babies.
That's right.
And we have a famous fur baby here with us. I'm actually in a little bit of idle shock. We have Rune Roberts in the house. And Rune Roberts' mama is here with us, Miss Leah Roberts.
Hello. Rune Roberts is Instagram famous. I mean, she has followers of her own.
She has more followers than I do.
I was nervous.
Never mind that
time.
you're actually quite the accomplished actress. Oh, man.
I pale to Rune.
If you only had more hair. And shorter legs.
I pay a lot of money for my hair.
So tell us about Rune, first of all, so we can properly introduce her, because this is a podcast, so they can't see her cuteness.
Sure. So Rune is a Pembroke Welsh Corgi. She's 1.5 years old. She is what you call a red Corgi.
And she's feisty like a redhead, too.
She's very, very feisty.
In fact, as we're speaking, she is literally jumping up on one of our big giant dogs as if she is the bigger dog.
She doesn't know she's small.
No.
It's adorable.
A little bit of a Napoleon complex.
Right.
Absolutely.
So we have so many fun things to share with you guys, but before we do, we have to start with the bourbon, because this is called Bourbon and Babies. Jordan?
And today we're doing a bourbon smash. You can use any kind of a jam or preserve you'd like in any flavor, and we had strawberry on hand, so it is about 2 tablespoons of strawberry preserves, 2 ounces of bourbon, some orange juice, a muddled orange just for a little of that fresher orange flavor, and you can shake that up with ice and then top it off with a little bit of seltzer water and drink. And I think it's pretty delicious.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get in this.
Okay.
So, Leah, what do you call yourself in relation to your dog?
Her mama.
You're her mama. Okay.
Yeah.
And is she your
baby.
Your baby. All right. And when people ask if you have children, do you say, no, but I have a fur baby?
Yes. There's always that caveat at the end. I know I don't have human children, but I do have a dog. And then, of course, I whip out the pictures, and they're like, oh, my God, how do I escape? And I'm like, you can't. So.
And then they're like, let me follow her on Instagram.
Some do. Yeah, some do. So, Rune's origin story. Follow me on this journey.
I'm with you.
It's a long story, but I'm going to condense it. So, in 2016, I was dating a very handsome man. I've always wanted a Corgi, but they're like $2,000. I
had no idea.
Oh yeah, more responsible things to spend my money on, and so I thought, no, I can't spend money on that right now. But he was going to get me one.
Wow, that's a serious gift.
Yeah,
from a boyfriend.
It was amazing. Well,
you must be really good in bed.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, that's a whole nother conversation. So, long story short, this guy turns out to be a sociopath, and everything he's ever told me is a lie.
What?
Including the Corgi. There was no Corgi. I have the best friends in the whole world, as you know, because they're your mutual friends. The following birthday of that year, they each donated a little bit of money into this fund, enough to get me a corgi.
There's a video on
I actually saw that video too.
It is so adorable and
where
cute.
they surprised me, and
did.
it was amazing. And so when they surprised me with it, I was like, oh fuck, like now I have to get a dog.
You're like, do I have to use this for a corgi? Can I just go for a bunch of pedicures and like
go to
pay
the
my rent
casino,
for a little bit?
you know. No, I'm glad that I was kind of forced into it, because it's a huge responsibility, and when they gave me this amazing gift, I was like, all right, it's do or die. Even if I get a dog and I turn out to hate it, I'm in it for the long haul.
That's
like,
right.
I'm committed. I have to do this for my friends.
Yeah.
The first month was shaky.
Yeah, what was shaky?
I didn't know what I was doing.
Like any new parent?
Right. Well, exactly. And I tell this to my friends with the caveat, I know that dogs are very different than human babies, but it was almost like I had a very milder form of postpartum. Because I wasn't getting any sleep. Mm-hmm. I was always afraid I was doing something wrong, that I was killing her, that she was about to die at any moment. Rune, hush. I just didn't know what I was doing, and I missed my old life. I was mourning my old life. Because I used to be able to, go out whenever I wanted and not care, and, come home whenever I wanted.
That's legit, just like with kids.
Yeah. Now, of course, it to a much smaller degree. It's legal to leave your dogs home alone.
Wait, it's not legal to leave your kids home alone? They're in a kennel. Crib.
As long as they have toys and treats.
Toys and treats.
It's fine.
And we leave a bowl of water. We're good.
Well, that's really
for the
generous.
kids.
Yeah.
The dogs, they
Sometimes
might
we
go
forget.
dehydrated. Yeah.
After the first month, we totally gelled, and now it's effortless, and I cannot imagine my life without her.
Yeah. It's almost like you went through the parenting cycle, but at an accelerated rate. It's like you did it all in a really short period of time, and you adjusted and settled. Whereas with kids, how old is our son? A year?
He's, just over a year.
I think we're starting to adjust.
So, Leah, are you a crazy dog mom?
I only realize I'm crazy based on other people's reactions to my requests for Rune. When she was supposed to get spayed, I asked the vet if I could be in the room.
During the surgery?
Yeah. And
to hold her
In the
paw?
sterile environment, that is.
I knew that it was a sterile environment, and I knew that I probably, I said, I'll be in the corner, I'll wear a mask, I won't say anything, and they were like, no!
We're going to have your dog
I imagine
cut
you
open.
wearing the little puffy hat and the scrubs like Jordan was when I had my C-section. He was standing next to me. That's what I imagine. I imagine you standing next to her with the mask on.
Yeah.
They didn't let you do it.
No, they didn't let me do it. And they, by their reaction, I was like, oh, so people don't do that. Oh, okay. And then I backed up. But, like I said, I didn't even care for a plant before I got Rune. So, this is whole new territory for me. I told you this before we started recording, but if Rune were a little girl, she would be Veruca fucking Salt, because I spoil the hell out of her.
I want the world. I want the whole
and she
world.
gets it. I am her dad.
Give it to
in
me
the movie.
now.
I'm falling all over myself. Except, she's really good natured. She's a very, very sweet dog. Thank God, because she is spoiled. I'm not raising her right.
She's incredibly well behaved. Jordan was actually looking up some articles earlier.
Yeah, and they were saying pretty much that treating dogs like humans is bad for the dog.
Yeah.
Because dogs, like humans, want boundaries. They want to know what they should and shouldn't do, and that dogs have no gray area. And how you need to make sure that you're being really strict with those dogs and consistent, because that's what they crave.
But see, to me, that sounds like the same thing as with kids.
It does.
What's the difference?
For example, our dog, Buttercup, she hates when fireworks are going off or when there's thunderstorms. She gets completely anxious and she starts acting crazy. And they're anxious, right?
Yeah.
So that's normal. But they're saying when they're displaying those kind of behaviors, you don't want to be petting them and telling them it's okay.
How can you not comfort them?
But they're saying that is confirming that the way they're behaving is the way they should be behaving, as opposed to, I'm comforting my dog who is in distress right now.
I just don't know that I can get on board with this whole concept of not comforting them.
I think I'm on the same boat as you. I'm just reiterating what I read.
Yeah.
But they're also saying that when you coddle them too much and make them too codependent, it's really difficult for them. They become very anxious when you're leaving the house. And I know, for example, my parents' dog is a nightmare when they leave the house. In fact, fact, there are
She's the devil.
There are days when they don't leave the house because they're afraid that she is going to be too anxious, and they've tried everything. They've tried the pens with the dog. She gets out, and when they're gone, she poops everywhere, pees everywhere, destroys stuff in the house. It's a total nightmare, but I guess the difference between a kid and a dog is a kid, you can comfort them, and they realize that you're just showing them that you understand how they're feeling, whereas a dog is going to think, if I'm showing you this reaffirming, petting, and hugging, I'm trying to show you this is the way you should be behaving.
Okay, so I get it. There are some differences. Some of the differences are hugely positive, though. For example, the perks of having a fur baby versus a real baby is it only takes 2 minutes to feed your dog. Mm-hmm. It takes for fucking ever to feed your kids, per one of our recent episodes.
And they have opinions about what they eat.
Oh my God.
Dogs don't.
They don't. They'll eat the same thing forever.
Yeah. Big
for
bag
years.
of dog food. 2 scoops. Boom.
Yeah. That's lovely.
Yeah.
Treat.
That's lovely.
Here you go.
Yeah.
There's a variation.
Yeah. What are the other perks of dogs versus kids?
I don't have to pay for college.
Oh, man. No, but did you send your dog to obedience training school?
No, and that's probably why she's so ornery. I can't really take her on a walk, really, because every 2 feet she stops and smells something, and I tug on the leash, and if she doesn't want to go, she does not go.
See, that's exactly like kids. Totally exactly like kids.
I just put our daughter on a leash, bring her right out
and
in
you
front.
just drag her until she starts making that gagging noise. Another one is cheap entertainment. Our kids, they gotta do stuff.
You gotta spend a lot of money.
Can we go to the movies?
Yeah.
Can we go to the bouncy park?
Right.
Yeah.
We don't actually spend all that much money on entertainment for our kids. Although she does gymnastics, and that is not cheap.
That ain't cheap.
You have to spend money on toys, and I imagine toys for your son and daughter are more expensive.
Yeah. Although I know some dog parents who absolutely spend a ridiculous amount of money on dog stuff.
I'm sure if I had a ridiculous amount of money, it would all go to Rune, but luckily I'm not in the 1% yet. So
Yeah.
Is she in your Is she in
Just
your
keep
will?
looking
Is
at
she
those
your
movies.
beneficiary?
my mom is right now, but she better watch it because I'm on the verge of giving it to Rune.
Another good thing that I've noticed between the dogs and the kids is people are always really excited to watch your fur baby. How often do people say, I love her, can I please bring her over to my house?
Yeah.
Do you know how often that happens with us and our kids?
Yeah.
No,
it's just a huger responsibility to watch actual live children because they can talk to you and fight with you, and it's just a lot more effort. When I watch my friends' kids, even just 2 hours, my face hurts.
Right.
Because I find myself making all these weird faces and I'm exhausted after 2 hours. And I always say I don't know how parents, real parents do it.
It's a lot.
Because I would be exhausted.
Well, I think part of that stress is that the stakes are a lot higher.
Oh, yeah.
You mess up and injure your dog and you've got a vet bill and you feel terribly guilty. You mess up and injure your kid and CPS comes and takes them away.
Yeah, the stakes are a lot higher.
I mean, you've all seen the Friends episode where Ben's head gets bopped into the ceiling by Rachel, right?
Well, I'm not a Friends fan, but...
Oh, Monica Boom? Monica Boom?
Not really.
Oh, they
That's-
broke
I'm
the
sure
baby.
it's great, but I just never got into it.
It's okay. We'll forgive you.
Yeah. That's another thing that is different between dogs and kids. When dogs whine, it's kind of cute. You're like, oh, you miss me, you love me. But when kids whine, you're like, I want to strangle you.
I don't know. There are many nights where we're laying in bed and you're like, shut your dog up.
Well, that's because they're barking. Barking is different than whining. When Buttercup comes up to me and goes, I immediately get out of bed and go and let her out because I think it's sweet. Banksy just comes up and barks at me because he's the jerk alpha who's like, you do what I say. He is such a jerk. He is the dog that will stand at the back of the yard and I'll walk and I'll open the door and go, Banksy, come. And he'll look at me and he will literally walk around the entire perimeter of the yard to come to the route. And he's looking at me the whole time like, what? What are you going to do? What? I try to give him away all the time. Anybody want a husky?
Stop trying to give my dog away.
He's beautiful.
He is beautiful.
So you anthropomorphized your dog.
My brother uses that word a lot.
I love
What does
that
that
word.
mean?
It means giving
share.
human characteristics to non-human objects or animals.
Yeah. So they don't really have those qualities?
I mean, we project those qualities on them, and that's what we think they're doing.
Of course,
but do
as a
they
dog
actually?
mom, I say yes, they really do.
Right? I have a really hard time with this. Our cat, she does this thing where she'll sit next to you and she'll reach out and put her paw on you, like, hey, pet me. And someone told me that they actually think that when they do that, it's them saying, you're mine.
I own you.
Like, I own you, which rocked my world because I was like, that makes it so much less cute than, hey, please pet me.
So the next time she did that to me, you better believe I did it right back to her. I'm like, nope, I own you. I own you.
I do that to Jordan sometimes in bed. I just go,
Yeah.
Oh, I
You're
thought you were just
mine.
feeling my
hand
face.
on your face. I own you.
That's not where I try to put your head.
That's true. Okay, what about holiday gifts? Holiday gifts. What do you do for Rune for holiday?
Rune has a dress that is red and green, and it has holly berries on it. I forgot to put it on her last Christmas, and I was so upset when I got to my family's house and I realized that I forgot to put the dress on. So this year will be the debut of the dress. I'm so excited. Rune gets presents just like I do from my family. Like, she gets a present from everybody. And I get more excited about her presents than about
We're kind of like that too. My family, the unspoken rule is once you have kids, you stop getting gifts and people just give your kid gifts.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot. First of all, the gift giving culture is just out of control in my
yeah.
opinion. But yeah, so they get gifts and I'm kind of the same way. I get more excited about the stuff that they get. Well, you know, that's another thing you said, the dress thing. If we had missed a year of not wearing the cute dress, it wouldn't fit the next year.
Oh, yeah. Rune's full grown. She'll always be the same size.
She will always be the same size. So you can reuse that stuff.
Yeah, that's why you wait till they're teenagers before you spend any real money on clothes. Everything's all hand-me-downs.
Right. My favorite thing about dog versus kid is dogs can't slam doors and stomp away.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's big. And they can't scream like, I hate you. Yeah.
They just go, "Rrr, rrr."
No, they didn't. They never think that. I don't think dogs ever think I hate you.
Dad would always say that the difference between a dog and my wife is that I could lock a dog in the trunk for a day and open it up, and they're so excited to see me. Like, where have you been? Where have you been? If I did that to my wife, game over.
Oh, yeah.
This one you might not agree with. So I'm interested to hear what you think. Okay. So one of the cons of fur babies versus real babies is real babies get cuter over time versus fur babies who are absolutely at their cutest when they're puppies. And even when they're grown up, you're like, you were your cutest.
No, I absolutely agree with that. Another pro to having a human child is you get to do fun stuff like Tooth Fairy and Santa Claus, and you get to have like drawings, macaroni necklaces from school.
Rune doesn't make you macaroni necklaces?
I wish she did because I would wear it every day.
I bet if you fed her a lot of macaroni, she'd make you a special kind of macaroni necklace.
I'm sure. You know,
macaroni and string, just put it in.
Oh God! Especially when she eats the stuffing out of her. Yeah, she would too. You know, puppies lose their teeth, which I didn't know.
I didn't either.
We didn't either.
Just like babies do, they have their baby teeth and then they have their adult teeth. Well, her last fang. I found it. Normally you don't find them because they swallow them and then it's pooped out forever. But I found a fang, and for a split second, I was like, Tooth Fairy. And then I was like, I don't do that. She's a dog.
I love that the fur baby trend is happening. Millennials are especially obsessed with their pets. They have the highest rate of pet ownership than any other generation. 44% of millennials, though, are saying that they're getting a pet. They see their pet as a starter child.
No. I am a millennial. I am the oldest millennial.
We're on the cusp, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd go as far as to say, well, if you have a dog, you're definitely prepared to be.
You're never prepared.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
We have 2 kids and we're still not prepared.
We have definitely told several people that they're thinking about having kids, like, get a dog first.
Right.
Because
I do think it's a pretty good prep in terms of sleep deprivation in the beginning.
Yeah.
And
lots of
having
whining.
to change your life around. Like, as you said, you can't stay out all night. You have to, there's someone that you're always thinking
an
about.
extra responsibility that you have to make sure you're weighing your life for.
Yeah. My aunt, she teaches at Prez. And she says that she uses me and Rune as an example of displacement in her psychology class because I don't have a husband or children, so all of my maternal juju is going into this dog. And so now whenever I hear stories about horrible things happening to children, I put Rune in that spot and I just fall to pieces.
Dogs do the same thing, like moms who give birth to their litter of puppies. A lot of times the puppies are taken away and they still have that maternal instinct and they're like, they don't know what to do with it. So they'll like get an object like a boot or stuffy or something, and they will, for a really long time, treat it and carry it around everywhere with them, trying to show it the love that I guess they would have given to their puppies.
That's so heartbreaking.
It's kind of sweet though, but yeah, it's totally, displacement's crazy.
So what do you think about this? I read that 23% of dog owners report that they got a dog in preparation for having a kid. Those are the people who I think get rid of their dogs after they have kids.
Yeah, because they're using it as a prop.
Right.
Like, don't get a dog because you should only get a dog because you really want a dog, or if your friends give you a pile of money and you have to get a dog. Those are the only reasons why you do it.
Shit, I'm stuck now.
You wanted her.
I really wanted her. And because not only is she like my baby, but she also represents all of these wonderful people in my life who
love that.
Who did this for me.
And you know what? That's exactly how it is when you choose to have kids. I know lots of people who went their whole lives saying that they never wanted to have kids until they met their partner.
Yes.
And then they met their partner and they were like, I want to have a person with this person who represents the two of us together. And I think that what you just said totally embodies that same principle.
Yeah.
Tell me, what is the craziest thing you've ever done for your dog or with your dog?
I got the photographer who does Actors Theater of Louisville's production shots to take my Christmas card photo with Rune. So, you know, I do that. I do the elaborate Christmas card photo shoots with her, but probably like the craziest that she's made me, I am the president of my HOA. And I am the worst because I'm always sending out nasty grams like, I noticed your trash has been outside your door for 2 days. Why don't you throw it away? You know? And so I'm always
everyone in your building really likes you.
You're that lady.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm always on everybody like, pick up your dog's poop, or I'm getting one of those DNA kits that's, you know, can tell what breed of dog this is so I know who to find, and I will find people.
This is corgi shit.
We were in the courtyard one day. I was checking my mail, and Rune decided that she wanted to poop. And surprise poop, and I didn't have any bags. And how my building is set up is all the doors face the courtyard. So I thought, oh my gosh, if anyone is seeing Rune poop right now, I cannot let them see that I'm not picking up after her. So I just picked it up with my bare hands.
Oh my God.
And then I took it inside and I put it in the toilet and I flushed it. And then, of course, I washed my hands vigorously. But, yeah.
That's love right there.
That smell does not go away easy.
No, it does not. It's like...
It's like super absorbent.
Ooh, yeah.
Like,
gross. Yeah.
That is love. Fur babies are the best. You know, I get that there are some parents out there that get all in a tizzy about people calling their dogs kids and saying that they're parents. And I get it. Yeah, it's not the same. And yes, parenting, of course, is harder. But I also just think that if you like have this creature or person in your life and you want to love them to that level, then more power to you.
I know people who greatly prefer canines over
Totally.
humans. And I sometimes really get that.
If you are willing to pick up your dog's poop with your bare hands, I think that you should be able to call yourself a dog parent all day, every day. Well, listen, Leah, you are awesome and hilarious and so fun. And I love that you came over with Rune.
Well, thank you guys so much for having me. You are total couple goals.
Aww.
So hook me up with somebody.
Well, Rune would be our puppy goal.
All right, folks, that is it for episode 11, Bourbon and Fur Babies. We have had such a great time. We would love to see your fur baby photos. So hop on our Bourbon and Babies Straight Up Parenting on the Rocks Facebook group and share your fur baby photos. And remind them about our contest.
And our contest is still going on through November 17th. All you gotta do is share your favorite episodes of Bourbon and Babies on any form of social media. Make sure you tag us, Bourbon and Babies Podcast, so we know you shared it, and you will be entered for every share that you make to win a $50 gift card to Eider Down Restaurant.
That's right. All right, well, enjoy your bourbon and enjoy your babies, and as always, please drink responsibly.
We'll see you next week.